Alright, Forex market situation update. We got the second analysis for the day. It's the silver with an important update that I have for you guys on this one. It's been exactly 12 days. 12 days ago that was the last time we've been here, and I was bearish. I was bearish on the silver, and I was presenting the bearish case for the silver. If you remember, we talked about the fact that price just came off a definite high. It just took the previous one by a very tiny margin. Check this out, right? A very, very tiny margin, but it did take the previous high, and with a swift move it crossed back below 27.90, and we felt that this could spell a big downside move all the way to where price came from. That's what I was portraying in that previous analysis on the silver 12 days ago. Like I said at the beginning of this video, an important update we have for you guys, and that's all about tossing out that bearish conviction, tossing it out the window. All right, we're flipping over, and I'm going to show you why. We're flipping over. We're now not only holding a bullish conviction, but we've decided to back it up with a bullish position. So, and I gotta say this, we're kind of testing the waters. So we're establishing a small size position on the silver until we can verify that it's basically crossing over 27.90. That's the big obstacle right now. Literally hovering above price action. But let me get to the point. Why did we decide to toss out the window our bearish conviction and flip it over? So first, it was a fundamental decision. From a fundamental point of view, we feel that the silver is up for a big upside move. There's a lot of demand for physical silver in the last, probably I would say 5, 6, 7 months, and it's getting bigger. That demand is growing. Every month it's getting bigger and bigger. And I'm talking about physical silver. So people feel that the economy, is under some serious threat, and they look for safe havens, and usually they find those safe havens in the gold and in the silver. So that's just one reason, but it has to have, it has to be a second reason, which has to be technical, right? So here it comes. You remember the way we talked about price was dropping so fast, basically crossing below 27.90, but not only that, but just also closing a gap. And I was talking about that gap. We felt that this, when we saw that gap, we felt that this could be a breakaway gap, right? The kind of gap that doesn't come back, doesn't look back. It just keeps going and going. And it jumps over a significant key level, which it did, 27.90. So we thought it might be a qualified breakaway gap, but it quickly got closed, right? So when it got closed, we started to speculate this might end up being just a common gap, with where common gaps close themselves very quickly, but they continue to trade, they continue to move to the same direction, that the gap was over. So, that was kind of our estimation, that this might end up being just a common gap and price will come back up. But now I want to show you something quite interesting, because we haven't determined yet what kind of a gap it starts to look like it was a common gap, because we see price coming back up, right? But it's too soon to determine with full confidence that that's the case. But I want to show you one more thing, another angle to this, to the silver here. But just keep in mind this level here, 27.90 again. I'm going to switch to the monthly chart. I want to show you something quite interesting. Take a look at this. This is the reason behind our decision to flip over and to pull the trigger. Take a look. The same gap I was talking about, right? This is the jump. right over 27.90. This is the opening. Have no mistake. This is the opening, right? Price went up at the beginning, took the previous high, and then started to cross over 27.90 as we've seen on the daily chart. But guys, check this out. Just before, we're getting closer to the end of the month, right? We still have some time to the end of the month, and we see this spike starting to form. So that to me speaks volume. It means that price is pulling back up. It was down it was here, it was on the downside to handle some business. Basically, it was after that gap. It was trying to close that gap. But now we see that big spike starting to form, suggesting that price will remain by the end of the month above 27.90, meaning it's really not breaking down 27.90, it's just spiking it. It was just some inner excess noise with the intention to close out that gap, but it was really not about breaking below 27.90. That's how I feel about it right now. We have 2 weeks to go to the end of the month. Enough time for price to not only jump back above 27.90, but to change its whole momentum and actually end up positively, right? So guys, that's pretty much the story about the silver. Like I said, big update. We're basically flipping over now. We're bullish on the silver. Let's see how far we can take this one on. We'll definitely be back next week to follow up on the situation. That's about that for the day today, Forex market. We'll be back tomorrow. Take care.